Hello, everyone. Welcome back to midweek edition of It's a Progressive World. As always, I'm joined by my co-host Sam, and you can find timestamps down below. And please like and subscribe. All right, Sam, take it away with the tease.
So we have quite a lot of short stories, I would say. First, very briefly, we go to UK and the developments with Jeremy Corbyn and Labour Party. Then we go to Israel and the recent developments there. Then briefly to Iran and Middle East. And then we're gonna go talk a tiny bit about Lebanon and very important issue there, very important issue.
Yeah.
Then briefly talking about Russia and the nuclear deployment. Again, briefly talk about India. After that, briefly talk about this is not even brief. This is going to be a nanosecond. New Zealand joining Aukus, so that's going to be that. Then we're going to talk about some developments in U.S. And Chinese relations in general, and then we're gonna focus a little bit more on US politics and some of our favorite characters like Elon Musk and such. So that's it.
All right, great job. Your video was frozen a bit, but your audio was great, so I don't think there's an issue there. At one point, if I would have taken a shot every time you said brief, I would have been wasted right now.
Yeah,
But,
I
but
know,
then you
right?
switched it up to nanosecond, and then
I
you
was,
stopped.
yeah, I was gonna say very briefly, but then I was like, okay, I can't do that again. What
But
is
yeah,
a
last comment
do a
before we get
yeah,
into your story. Yeah, the Lebanon story is hilarious. Although in a way not that surprised. Like I don't know. At the same time, when I was hearing it, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That would happen. But anyway, we'll
I
talk
don't know,
about
man.
it.
No, it's hilarious because it shows just the level of
Yeah,
just consensus and all that within the society, I guess.
but yeah. All right. That was interesting. Although
Try to
maybe you
think of
can even
synonyms
find
for
an
brief.
excuse for them. Although maybe you can blame it on the rest of the world. Because there's all these talks now. Oh, I don't change my time. Oh, I change my time. And I don't even, I never know what's going on and who's doing what. So anyway, we'll talk about
Oh, are you
it.
talking about the Lebanon thing? All right,
Yeah.
let's save it for the thing. Yeah, yeah, all right. Yeah. But all right, so shall we, I guess, jump right
Yep,
into it?
yep, yep, yep. So what did you think I was talking about? I
So
thought anyway.
no, I thought you're just making a general comment about
No, no, no.
state of affairs. Yeah.
That too, but
But oh, so just now, actually, this is a very, very like live story. If we were broadcasting live, but we are not.
I'm getting it live. I'm getting it
So
live. Okay. For your one live audience member. Should I go get Peanut?
yeah, get
I also have
peanuts.
my sister's dog actually. Can be three of us here.
Yeah, get your. I love the fact that your sister and your wife are not an option to be
And they
added as
won't
live
come. I'm
viewers.
sorry.
They, we tried. No, no, it's not gonna work. But yeah, so at Miliband. So sorry, let's start from the beginning. NEC today basically they decided they're gonna kick what's his name out, Jeremy Corbyn. So he's
Again?
officially
Oh.
no, he's kicked. They removed the whip from him, but he's now officially out of the party. Basically, he's completely out of the Labour Party. He's not one of them anymore.
They won't
Literally,
let
they
go
kick him.
until they literally like, okay, now we're
No,
gonna
no,
erase you from history.
your firstborn son. We need his blood. Oh, jeez. But then, there was a little bit of controversy with Ed Miliband first saying that it's going to be about anti-Semitism, but then they didn't put the anti-Semitism thing as part of their official sort of reasoning for kicking me out in the motion that Pierre Starmer put forward, because it seems that it might have potentially face some legal challenges or something. So what the reasoning they're putting forward is this instead. So listen to this.
So hold on, sorry, right before you say that, oh, okay,
Sorry,
nothing. So
go
your
ahead.
audio is perfect. Your video is just frozen, but then as soon as I said that, you moved. So continue.
All right. So I'm just gonna play, and I mean he's. I hope you can hear him because that's the important.
when he became leader, said he was going to do everything he could to root out anti-Semitism. So we don't have at the next election what we had at the last, which is Labour and anti-Semitism being talked about in the same sentence. And it's really, really important that we show zero tolerance of anti-Semitism, and that when allegations of anti-Semitism are made, they are taken with the utmost seriousness. That's what Keir Starmer's been doing.
So I mean, compared to his answer earlier on the radio, he changed it slightly in that sense that we don't want the Labour Party to be talked about with anti-Semitism. So they don't say that he's anti-Semite. They basically are saying that because newspapers attacked him for anti-Semitism and all that, like we need to be. So basically, they're saying because he lost the election because he was a bad leader, he should be kicked out because he got bad press. And he's a liability, which is okay. But that news coming from Ed Miliband, as maybe you can see here. Oh God, where is it? Maybe you can see here. How is he here titled Ed Miliband here? Can you read for the audience, please?
Michal Hossein, Ed Miliband, today, BBC Radio 4, 28th of March, 2023.
What? No.
Okay. Ed Miliband, former Labour leader. Okay.
All right. So based on the reasoning he gave just now, he should be fucking kicked out. And I don't know if anybody recalls.
I'm guessing he wasn't popular because I've never heard of him.
No, who
was on the other side when he was? Is this Cameron. Cameron? So there's right before Brexit and all this, Jeremy Corbyn. Revival.
Jeremy Corbyn. Oh yeah, he was after, what's his name? After Brown. Was he there? I think he was directly after Brown.
Hold on.
He famously betrayed his much more good-looking brother, David. I mean, they are both nerdy looking. I mean, but David Miliband was the one that everybody thought is gonna be the, heir to the throne. But then Ed Miliband kind of shoved him. Or I mean, it's politics. Who gives a shit? But he's more to the. They say he's more to the left.
But I have a question. Oh, okay, never. But Jeremy Corbyn, like whatever, went 5 or 6, 7 years ago, or whenever that was his comeback, right? Was he once the leader of the party, or that was like the most popular he ever got, or was he previously also like 10, 15 years before that?
No, that was. No, you're mixing two stories together. Let me just clarify your brain right there. He was never popular. He was for 40 years. He was a backbencher, sort of part of a clique of like left.
But was he like a Labour hero, or like did you know him before that?
Yeah, because of the anti-war movement, and he would show up,
Okay. All right, but he was never like okay, but he never
and he
reached
came on
this
Press
level.
TV. But he was never even like in a shadow character. He was not. But then what happened was when he became the leader in a really surprise, sort of accidental, sort of oh shit, how did you let this happen? Sort of situation. Then they challenged him again in an unprecedented move. So he was one of the very few leaders that had to basically run twice to be a leader, and he defeated the second time as well. So I think you're mixing up that with his 40-year-old career, and it's just that the two leadership contests happen in 2 years.
Perhaps.
Basically.
So
I
just thought this would be an interesting storyline. And often when these kind of things happen, you think, oh, you've heard of somebody for the first time, or they just became famous. You're like, nah, 20 years ago they did the exact same thing, and
I mean, he was always famous in the leftish.
Yeah.
He used to go on Press TV. He used to go, and he was the guy. He was the one guy who dressed shitty in the parliament, and which So that. But by the way, this was a highlight of Ed Miliband's career when he was Ed Balls was his shadow chancellor, and they went to Greg's to pretend to be working class, and they bought some pasties, and look at this, they're like Daily Mirror. I mean, it's just these fucking idiots. But I have to say though, man, it's their party. Like seriously, it was like it's always been their party. Leftists should go and form their own fucking party and stop like leeching off of social democrats like parasites. Do your own fucking thing and stop nagging about. They don't want you. Like both, they made it clear,
No,
Democrats
that's
and
clear.
Labour.
But
They
I
don't
mean,
want you.
if you can steal a party, go ahead, steal a party. But yeah, I agree that they don't
Sure, but
want
it
you,
feels
and
like
yeah.
to me they don't successfully steal
No,
anything.
yeah,
It's
that
just
again, that too I agree.
if they did,
Out of three
we would have a
statements, I agree with two.
All right, good.
It's
Good enough.
66% agreement here.
66% agreement. Now, I don't know if you heard about the recent developments in Israel. Have you?
Same ones that we talked about on Sunday. Oh no, sorry.
No.
This morning I heard. So Netanyahu backed out, or he reversed the plans or the changes that they were going to make to judiciary.
No. Wow, calm down. No. He said he's going to delay it for a week.
Okay,
Mr.
I have
By the
inside
way,
info. Okay, next week this is what's
Oh
gonna happen.
yeah. I've been talking to
So do you
Macron,
consider
and
this as a success by a protest movement or no?
No, not really. No, but it had much more to do with the fact that reservists and that type of thing said
Yeah, I
that
heard that.
strikes and reservists, they said and the fact that Israel is like the Israel's existence, especially now, is dependent on guarding 5 million prison population that is Gaza. So I think it's more to do with that. But Mr. Combe over here, and who's still doing fucking comb overs in
What else you want him
2023?
to do though?
Like just
He's
be
holding
fucking
on.
bald. I don't do a Bruce Willis thing, shave it off, and he's a fucking leader of your country, Israel. I mean, forget about the apartheid and the racism. Aren't you ashamed that your leader is a comb-over man? But anyway, he came out and he said, did you see the speech that he said he's going to delay the thing and all that?
No.
Oh, it was fantastic. He says that, 3,000 years ago, here, King Solomon stood where two mothers were brought before her, two women who both claimed to be mothers of a single child. And King Solomon basically putting himself, I am King Solomon II, and I'm the voice of reason. I'm going to be above politics. And but King Solomon said, we're going to have the kid, like, they're going to both pull the kid and then we're going to see who wins. But the actual mother didn't want the kid to be hurt. But today in Israel, both sides want the kid to be hurt. I will not allow Israel, my little kiddie, I will not allow it to be hurt. So I'm gonna strategically retreat right now. And that's what he did. He's gonna strategically retreat for a week. Yeah, but he's apparently promised the right-winger guy, the guy who has like connections with convicted terrorists, or is a convicted terrorist, but he's also a home secretary or whatever, promised him like a national guard of 1,000 men or something, or 1,000 monsters. I'm not quite sure. Perhaps 100 trolls will be added if necessary. I don't know what the fuck are they doing in Israel. Like they're promising each ministry their own national guards. What is going on? Like is this like basically descending into fucking basically warlords, piracy sort of a situation? Like you get your own men, you go your own. Like you can go and I don't know, get a bit of Jordan, cut off a bit of Jordan for yourself. But yeah, but yeah, I mean, but it's the funny thing is though, with all the, I mean, Israel is a racist country and it's apartheid nation, I think, but at the same time, it is quite funny to see Netanyahu's enemies, because Channel 4 and the UK, they brought in, I don't know, guess who did they bring in? A former prime minister from Israel. Guess who?
Oh, I don't know their names. I mean, yeah.
Oh, Ehud I'm best friends with Jeffrey Epstein, Barack Obama. Ehud Barak, sorry, not Obama. Barack Obama came out just automatically. Ehud Barak, who's famously like was the best buddy with Jeffrey Epstein.
Lord.
It was out there saying, you know, this is wrong. You know, Israelis cannot take democracy, reservist. And you're like, okay, I like this racist pedophile or this racist psychopath, corrupt motherfucker who takes his laundry around the world. So like he doesn't have to pay for the water bills in Israel. Like I don't care. Like we can all go to hell, including those protesters in Jerusalem, frankly. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, not much thought to add to what you just said.
You don't have any sympathies for Ehud, for potentially a pedophile, Barak?
No.
No. Anyways, and just very briefly mention this as well because it's very brief that Tehran today announced that they are ready to host King Salman,
Really?
the King of Saudi,
Wow.
in Tehran. So things are genuinely, at least rhetorically, escalating.
Interesting.
I mean, in a month we'll find out because they promised that in a month from now. I mean, a month ago they said 2 months. Embassies will be opened.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll find
Hopefully
out
you'll
soon.
get a invitation to the opening party or the opening night.
Yeah, I have a. Do you think King Salman? I feel like I should be there. I feel I should be there to talk to King Salman about a couple of issues. I'm a big fan of your heir apparent MBS. I think he's doing a good job. Except the sorry, except the Yemen war. But by the way, why you see the picture of Xi Jinping here is because China also came out and said that we sort of emphasize that Iran and Saudi should have good relations. And I don't know, that's news in Iran right now.
Well,
In Iran, if a nation talks about Iran, it's like, guys, go.
come on, it's China and Saudi.
Yeah, also, this is Tajrish. I don't know if you remember, but this is probably, these are ambassadors, and these are ambassador wives, as you can see, without the hijab. And as you know, it's Eid, by the way, it's New Year. And by the way, did you know it was fucking Ramadan too?
Yeah. It fell on the same day this year.
3 days later after New Year, it was Ramadan.
Oh, really?
Happens every 10, 12 years, I think. But I had no idea. It caught me really off guard. And it was just, it's so... I have to say, I hate Ramadan. The Ramadan is probably my least favorite Islamic thing. But both Ramadan in Iran, by the way, is a very sad affair, unlike Sunni side, because Ali gets killed in Ramadan. So it's not a good thing. So,
but these are the ambassadors from which countries?
Oh, from Britannia, Denmark, and Netherlands. So yeah,
the guy in the jeans is pretty stylish.
Yeah, I think that's probably the Dutch guy. The lanky tall guy, I imagine,
is the English guy.
Is the British guy.
Yeah,
I imagine. Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, I love.
He might even be American. They should double check his.
Yeah, just brought him over. Like, we need this. We want to do this job, but we don't want to send the English guy over. So.
And the guy on the right, he's not French. You're sure the guy with the hat? But no.
That's good point. Good point. The hat adds to the.
He could be German.
Anyway, I mean, we are talking about European nations. They probably are, from Spain or something. All of them.
No, but I'm judging by clothes, by their style.
No, I mean, I'm just in Europe though. They are all melting together, like they're all becoming one. But
no,
I know what you're saying. Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
I was just gonna say that the country has gone fucking fully mad. It's like they keep coming out in the parliament. They say that if you are not doing the Islamic hijab, we're gonna fine you. We're gonna revoke your passport, we're gonna revoke your driving license, and then you go out and nobody's wearing hijab, and then you have this, which
But yeah,
is this is like, but by the way, on Iranian television, it's like nothing is on except this bullshit, as you can see here. And this guy, the old guy here, the guy with the mustache, he was for 42 years. They didn't allow him on national television. He wasn't even allowed to work privately. And now Islamic Republic is bringing him on national television. And then the people who for 40 years were defending him and were saying, oh, because of Islamic Republic, he cannot earn a living. He's dying of hunger. His family, blah, blah. Now they're attacking him. What the hell? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore. I really don't know. And then Islamic Republic is inviting Saudi Arabia, and nothing makes any sense. It's just, I don't know. And it was raining ice in Tehran in spring. What the fuck is going on? Somebody needs to just make some By the way, I love that guy's teeth. I don't know where he bought it from, but it is very shiny.
we should get some for this show.
Yeah. My teeth are a bit yellowish because of coffee and cigarettes. I need to
Same.
cut down on both. Sorry, it's good. It just devolved into just personal hygiene again, as always. But yeah, do you have no comment on Iranian situation going? What the fuck is going on in Iran right now?
No, I felt like I was
Have you
commenting
heard about
as you were
this?
commenting.
Oh, I feel like you were shaking your head mostly, but okay. But
No,
yeah,
but
I don't know. It's just
I support the rapprochement between Iran and Saudi.
Do you now? Do you? Well, me too, I suppose. But it's just, I really hope, because it's really cold, but I hope as soon as the cold ends, we'll see what's gonna happen with this whole hijab thing, really. And I really hope they fucking let it go. We'll see.
Alrighty, Sam. Is it time for my favorite story? I didn't know it was gonna come up this early.
Yeah, I thought it's all the stories are short, so yeah, I'm just gonna play a bit to give people a bit of what's going on.
Lebanon usually shifts into summertime at the end of March, but opposition to a last-minute decision to postpone it for a month left the country in 2 different time zones. It also deepened political and sectarian fault lines. The man behind the decision, caretaker Prime Minister Najib Mikati, convened cabinet after facing dissent from within his administration. His announcement has since been reversed, and he is refusing to accept the blame.
Lord, and just to
So
specify, it's not 2 time zones, like one part has one time zone, one part has another time zone, like the same part simultaneously.
They
have 2 times.
There was a leaked video that showed they basically decided to postpone the what is it called? Daytime saving
Time
zone, twilight zone. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. The twilight zone. They decided to postpone that to after Ramadan because it would make the iftar
earlier
become earlier, so people and genuinely, what is wrong with these people? I mean, did they really think Muslims just for, and they were like, yeah, this will make Muslims, there's a video of them, I swear to God, there's a video leak of them, it's on Al Jazeera, and they're like, this will make Muslims happier. Do they think like Muslims are like, what do you fucking, if they are that upset about fasting, they wouldn't fast. It's not like, like, it's just, I'm not a Muslim, but they're not fucking children. We're gonna reduce 1 hour from your homework and you're gonna be happy now, aren't you, buddy?
Hey, it's not
And
so
then
bad.
just the video got leaked, and the backlash was from Muslims as well, that were like, what the fuck is this? Like, what are you doing? And it was so hilarious because the Christian churches were like, no, we are not doing this. This is ridiculous. And it's like, How is this even offensive to Christian church? I don't know how did they, like, how were they offended?
This is too funny.
But this is a country that has a population of what, 7, and the cabinet is what, 23 people. Why does Lebanon need a cabinet that is larger than most of its like cities? Like this is. Do you see how many people are here? It's unbelievable. Most of these people should be just put in a fucking mine somewhere. But anyway, it led to a couple of hilarious scenes with old people wearing 2 watches,
Oh my
basically, because
God.
they had to have and there was a taxi driver saying, okay, sometimes it's easier for me to have 1 watch here and 1 watch here, and I asked, do you want the old time or do you want the new time, sir? And then it was a taxi driver, so his job
Too
depended on it.
funny. Too funny.
Yeah, but this is why, by the way, the country is still in a free fall in terms of like
Too
currency,
funny.
energy, unemployment, and the genius way the politicians came up to shore up their support was, let's give Muslims 1 hour off, huh? They can eat 1 hour earlier. I'm sure this will make up for the unemployment, the lack of electricity, the lack of jobs, the lack of future, imminent war, and all of that. Just give them 1 hour. Give them 1 hour. Come on. It's unbelievable. Like, unbelievable.
Too funny.
Anyway, do you remember I told you about Lukashenko and Putin?
Lukashenko and Putin. Yeah.
So as I told you, Putin is it's not funny. It's a serious matter. Lukashenko is a serious dictator. I don't know why you're laughing, but he's gonna put nuclear weapons. Putin is gonna put nuclear weapons and station them in Belarus. Not give Minsk control, but just station them. Then I watched Al Jazeera, and this was a interesting video, which we see a couple. Let me just play just the beginning of it.
President Lukashenko with Belarus. The pretext was the statement of the British defense.
Depleted uranium.
As for our negotiations with President Lukashenko with Belarus, the pretext was the statement of the British Defence Secretary that they were going to deliver depleted uranium rounds to Ukraine. It is still connected with nuclear technologies. It's obvious. However, even out of context with those events, this statement, Lukashenko has been bringing up the question of deploying Russian tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus for a long time. And Lukashenko makes a point.
At this point, Putin actually said, guys, off the records, Lukashenko has been calling me non-stop since 2008 about this. Okay, forget about the Britain giving those motherfuckers weapons. Lukashenko has been, this motherfucker is not letting this go. He's been calling me, telling me how, oh, look at how, America is treating its allies. America gives its allies, nuclear, it's giving Germany nuclear warheads. It's giving them tanks. It's giving them helicopters. It's taking them to romantic dinners. I mean, it's giving them soldiers. But, so I think basically this was like, I feel like this was an excuse for Putin, to
Get off
shut
his back.
Lukashenko up, basically. Lukashenko is like one of those really needy girlfriends, calls Putin all the time. Look, did you see what America did with Japan? You never do anything like that with me. All right, whatever, Luca.
Did you have a book there? What are you reading? Or those your notes?
Yeah.
It looks like a book of potions
remember
or
everything.
something. Is it leather?
No,
Did I see that? Does that have brown paper? Can I see?
Yeah, it's brown
Hold
paper.
on, let me see. Okay,
I like
let me see
brown
the
paper. What are you laughing at? It's a very nice
notebook. Look like a poem, like a poem notebook, like a book.
Yeah, it's
full of poems.
Joke. Well, it's a joke book. I didn't buy it though. I found it, so that's
Fair
good.
enough.
I never have to buy paper in Iran because my dad and stuff, they've like bought so much shit from like when paper was actually useful. So
Mm.
it's around, you know what I
Interesting.
mean? Like I have,
Yeah.
yeah,
But that looks like the
very
kind of
nice.
notebook you get at like, the boutique like bookstore. Like, it also sells
Oh
like
yeah,
one
that's where my
notebook
dad
with
got it.
it.
Oh, yeah. That's where my dad got it.
No,
That's
but the
literally
notebook
the
suits you.
only type of the only type of notebooks we can find are my dad and boutique sort of calendars and notebooks have a long history. So yeah.
Nice,
But
nice.
if you didn't distract me with doing a sort of a meta narrative about my notebook, I was going to say, do you think like Lukashenko calls Putin at night and Putin is like, Dmitry, tell him I'm not here. Dmitry, I'm in a meeting with the UN. I'm in a meeting with the UN. Don't tell him I'm here. Why did you? Okay, hello, Luca. How you doing? Yeah, sure. I want to give you the nuclears. It's not the Dumas. Sure. Yeah,
Too
that's
funny.
yeah. So that's been going on. And by the way, yeah, the nuclear, what was it? Nuclear proliferation. I could never say
Yeah.
that word.
Proliferation?
That's
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, that's happening. So good luck with people who wanted to stop that.
Jeez.
And then, I forgot to tell you about this. This was from last week. But did you hear about this Rahul Gandhi story?
No.
Well, do you know who's Rahul Gandhi? He's kind of famous.
He's like an Indian politician?
Yes.
Like member of Congress or something.
He was the member of a Congress party, yes,
Party,
which
yeah.
is the party that won the independence and was in charge till quite recently. And so let me find where should I go here? I need to read this. So Mr. Gandhi he was convicted of defamation and he's barred from running from parliament because
Really?
of the remarks he made in 2019. Yes, he's gonna appeal it, but we'll see.
Oh yeah, I think I remember
So the
that.
comments, the comments he was convicted for were speaking at a rally in Karnataka state in April 2019. Mr. Gandhi had said, "Why do all these thieves have Modi as their surname? Nirav Modi, Lalita Modi, Narendra Modi." Then he was sued by Mr. Paresh Modi, who said that he offended all of Modi family. And Rahul Gandhi, I don't know if you know, where is his picture? No. Rahul Gandhi here, as you can see here, is himself related to Rajiv Gandhi, son of Rajiv Gandhi, grandson of Indira Gandhi, and brother to Sonia Gandhi. And I think the main takeaway from this story is that really, India, you need to fucking diversify your family names. You need more than Gandhi, Modi, and Nehru. All right, we need more family names than that. How many goddamn Modis and Gandhis and fucking this is crazy. Did you see how many fucking Modis are there? Jesus Christ! But do you know anything about Rahul Gandhi?
Besides what I've already shared?
Yes.
On top of that information
the fact that he's a politician
already provided, in addition to
yes. In addition to the extremely rare knowledge provided.
No.
No. He's kind of like he's sort of a Kennedy. So he's the failed son of the India. We talked about sort of that concept that Chapo Trap guys talk about that. Failed sons sort of. He's a son of Rajiv Gandhi, was a prime minister and a grandson of Indira Gandhi, but he's much less capable of them, and he's kind of like he used to be very like he's doing a Mr. Kennedy thing. He used to be very clean shaven. He's studied in I think Harvard. And he's very, I'm, technocrat. I'm a very, very good technocrat. I will bring Western values, but bit, Indian twist to it. But now, recently, he's grown a beard and he's going warrior poet on the, what did he say? I wanted to read you this. He said, "Oh, my family has nurtured the democracy of this country with their blood. Those who think they can threaten us by insulting us or use central agencies against us are wrong. We are not going to be threatened." Sorry, that he didn't say that. Sorry, that's something. Anyways, but he's just basically extremely sort of I don't know. He's basically Kennedy of India. You know what I mean? Like, or very much in that sort of thing. So I have no sympathy for him, to be honest. Although I do think the defamation lawsuit is bullshit. But
yeah, I mean,
I have no. Obviously,
you dishonored my name. I will press charges. Okay.
And very briefly, I just want New Zealand probably is going to join AUKUS, so that's nice. I think that's probably why what's her name, Jacinda Ardern, left. I think she left just so they can join AUKUS and then she can come back in. Probably. What do you think of that? My theory.
Who left to join?
Jacinda Ardern. Do you remember her, the Prime Minister of New Zealand?
Oh, show me her picture.
Really, she was
with glasses.
She was the one. No. She was the one with the great COVID policy, or the ones that media loved.
Yeah, exactly.
And she loves Muslims and everybody.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in a while. Hold on, let me see if.
Yeah. She quit about 6 months ago, a year ago.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. So she, they gonna. This was just the conspiracy theory I had. Nothing to do with this news story, but I was just like, they probably, because she was left wing, they really like sort of left wing, and they loved her. They were like, just, can you get out for a couple of days? We get the AUKUS deal done, and then you come back in, and we continue whatever the fuck. I don't. Maybe not. Perhaps. Really? Are you really? You're never gonna push back on anything I say, are
buying
you? Like,
into your theories.
I can say, yeah, just like. I think Santa Claus is going to invade Europe this week. I think that's very likely. Yeah, it's good idea. Good point.
Unless I don't feel like I have to intervene, as like, in order to kind of censor you, or to kind of like greenwash what you just said, or just provide some disclaimers. I let you get away with most of your.
All right.
No,
I mean, it's as far as you say, okay, I'm fine, because it kind of makes you complicit. So, it's like, you're approving this. I don't know if you heard about this, but first, let's do this shorter thing. So US is apparently moving forward to banning TikTok.
Really?
And AOC joined protests supporting the app. Yeah. Do you hear about this?
No, but I mean, I'm not surprised. Taking AOC like depends on this TikTok shit. That would be a big blow to her. Like, what the fuck?
Well, apparently this is she for the first time she posted on TikTok like during this events. But I was just thinking though, yeah.
No.
I guess she's mostly on Instagram. She's older, man. She's our age. I know she acts like a 12-year-old, but
so big though. And no, people in their early 20s are on TikTok. They're also on Instagram, but also on TikTok.
Yeah, she's not in her early 20s. Again, no, she's our age. I repeat.
They're volunteers.
Volunteers. She has volunteered. You see, Padayan. Her Johnness, sorry. But no, but I was thinking that this reminded me of, who? John McCain.
Yeah.
Because John McCain, I don't know if you recall, he was anti-torture because famously he was tortured by the Vietnamese, which always brings a smile to my face. So again, people who say, oh, torture is never justified. John McCain being tortured by Vietnamese, very justified. And you know, he was always like, yeah, torture is not right and it's not good, and you know, bomb everywhere, but don't torture people, just bomb the shit out of them. So that was his take. And I feel like AOC is like her Vietnam is Instagram and TikTok and the videos she makes there. And it's like, yeah, I mean, like in 5 years when they gonna repeal the TikTok ban, she's gonna be, yeah, I was banned from TikTok for many years. I can't support any bans. It has happened to me. It's a personal thing for me. It's I can't take it. No. It's, oh God, I hate it.
Alrighty, Sam, let's continue with the show.
Yeah, sorry, just I mean, this story was great as a sort of additional info to the US China TikTok thing. I don't know if you heard, but Kuomintang party leader, and I don't know if you know anything about Kuomintang party from Taiwan,
No.
visited China. Do you know anything? Kuomintang? No. Kuomintang, sometimes they say get. No, nothing.
Oh,
No.
no, joking.
Make fun of me. They are very famous. All right. It's not my problem that you've had a graduate study. You have finished your graduate studies and you still don't know this is
Never came up.
But no, they're famous because they were involved in the World War II. They were the ones that mostly defeated the Japanese, and they were the nationalist rivals of Mao. And everybody thought they're gonna succeed, really. But then Mao succeeded, sadly. And this is their party leader. He was the leader of their country for I think 8 years or something. He saw like improved relations with China, and the lady is the new leader, who is much more sort of a nationalistic type, not nationalistic, I guess. I don't know whether Taiwanese is. And but this guy, this is the guy I'm talking about. So he's gone to mainland China. He's not gonna visit Xi Jinping. This video is from many years ago. But man, I have to say, I'm so jealous of the whole sort of Chinese, I guess, cultural sphere thingy, because like Kuomintang, like if there was ever a party I would support, would be Kuomintang party. And like I would highly I mean, like they I don't know, like China and Iran and I think Britain, these three have really good parallels with each other. I think moving from colonial imperial era to non-imperial era, and like the people that sort of made modern Iran, I feel like very much like a Kuomintang type, like the late Qajar era, early Pahlavi era people, and sort of like, and the Islamic Revolution very much was a Maoist revolution, like in many, I mean, it was a Maoist revolution that peasants had the revolution in the urban centers instead of having it happen in rural areas. They were already moved into centers, but it was a peasant revolution. And I was like, I kind of wish there was like a, Taiwan for, some sensible people to go who are not like, these crazy psychos in LA and Washington that, oh, Islamic Republic must fall and there must be a civil war in Iran before we get to democracy. There must be a civil war. That's all we want. And, like there is this Kuomintang part right now. He's playing a fantastic role for Taiwanese and Chinese people, because he's basically saying, look, there is an alternative here to war. I'm going to China, like he's providing an actual tangible alternative. So, I get jealous sometimes.
I see.
Chinese cultural sphere. Because by the way, fascinating leaders and party, I really recommend reading about them, because they were really socialist in their nature, and they were never, I mean, maybe they weren't so much socialist, but they were very similar to sort of Japanese, Korean models, developmental minded, but more socialist than those systems, and way less racist than those systems. So that's I highly recommend checking them out and their history. It's fascinating and fun. And look at this guy and look how many medals he has.
Damn, he looks so
Yeah,
cool.
look at how many medals do you have? Samuel? How many? Tell us.
Wow.
Look at him. And out of those 70 medals, about 69 of them he gave it to himself. So
Damn.
that's yeah, but I'm genuinely a huge fan, and they were more like Soviet Union type than Maoist sort of peasant bullshit, whatever. And so that was just I wanted to talk about that.
Mhm.
But then let's get to fun.
What else?
So
What
there was
is
this
fun?
story about Marianne Williamson, which I don't. Are you seeing Politico right now or YouTube?
No, not yet. I'm still on Wiki. Now I'm on YouTube. And now I'm on Politico.
Now you should. So maybe you can read for our fantastic audience.
So when is this article from?
It's from Politico, and it was a.
No, when is it from? I'm just.
Oh, from a week ago, I believe.
Okay.
Publication date is 16th of, I'm guessing, March 2020. Which month are we in?
Yeah, March.
Yeah, 16th of March 2023. Yes, 23,
Yeah.
22.
We're in
Okay,
Abad.
good. Yeah, Abad?
I just want to say a
Okay,
random
yeah.
Iranian month. Is that
Amban, not Abad.
Oh.
Abad means
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So you see, this is the American way, which really throws me off anyway on the date. They put the month and the date and the year. It makes much more sense to do day, month, year.
I completely and wholeheartedly agree with you.
Okay.
I don't think we ever on our show had such an agreement. This
Man, with lower numbers, it's highly
tell.
confusing.
And man,
I only know one person who really
please.
uses it regularly. I've experienced. He's
preach, brother, preach.
I guess that's someone who will interview soon. I'll leave it at that. Someone who will interview soon.
Oh shit! No, I take it back. It's an American thing. It's an American thing, and I hate it because all my students, I don't know, like this is anybody. Maybe there are English listeners, English teachers out there, but they know what I'm talking about. The fact that all my students, they want to talk like Americans and they want to learn everything American. And as you know, I have
you shown
very
them the British
huge
way?
Yeah, exactly. I have a huge British bias. Yeah, exactly. Like, they couldn't find like the worse teacher than me. It's like, no, but look at, if you add the U to the spelling, makes it so much better.
Night and day.
And it's so weird to me, but I do understand that a lot of times like American way is better or simpler. But this is, as you say, this is the most confusing, nonsensical.
Here it kind of works at least because it's, the day is 16, so it's obvious. But anything below 12.
12, below 12 is very
confusing. 12,
yeah.
But anyway,
sorry,
so I'll put timestamps to the actual story as well. So
although I do genuinely feel this was, for me at least, this was much more important than the story we're going to discuss. And I'm so glad you agree with me on that, because I just recently, everybody's like, no, it's actually simpler because it's American. They're like, anyway, but as you say, to the main story. So maybe you can read the title.
Marianne Williamson's abusive treatment of 2022 campaign staff revealed. The self-help guru, who is running for president again, was emotionally and verbally abusive to staff. Ooh, political not holding back, according to interviews with former employees. Yeah. And this headline also, and this sub-headline, don't even get me started with the spacing here and the jumping of the paragraphs. But anyway.
Why? What's wrong with it? Tell me.
Because, even campaign staff revealed, it looks so much smaller than the other part of the headline. I would have brought the 2020 down as well. The second one looks really ridiculous.
be
I would
because
have
of-
definitely put the comma after staff and then brought according to the next sentence, or even maybe earlier. Unless it's get adjusted as you make your screen bigger and smaller, but I don't know.
By the way, people, remember, all the other politics shows only focus on the South End. What channel focuses on punctuation and how people are dressed as much as we do? Like, no channel.
But man,
Like,
political
yeah, anyway,
are
sorry.
not holding back. Huh?
Sorry. No, political are not holding back. Or
Damn, that
I guess I
second
should say
headline,
Biden.
that sub headline.
But
It
man,
fit
I have to
everything
say,
in
though-
there. She's a self guru running for president again. Hasn't paid her parking tickets. Oh, and is abusive to staff.
Also, yeah, but she apparently they
Doesn't
have
give candy
I-
out
I-
on Halloween. This is
doesn't call her friends.
Her lawn is always dirty and untidy, ruining the neighborhood. Okay, this is-
Apparently, though, they did talk to more than 10. I remember reading it was like 12 or something. So they did talk to quite a few people.
Okay.
But and then she did and I guess she, what do you say, she sort of released her minions to defend her, and these two minions came on Bad Faith podcast. And did you listen to this motherfucker? Especially the guy on
Yeah.
down there. He's unbelievable.
I mean, they
people.
weren't from
And I
Politico,
hi-
no? They were like, so one of them
no
is
no
a,
they no
the one down there,
Politico
he's
wrote
like
this.
yeah.
They are the minions of Marianne.
Wow.
They are the
Oh,
people
yeah,
she
sorry, yeah.
abuses. They are the abused.
Yeah.
Look at
So
him.
who
Look at him. He clearly is he's
Yeah.
clearly
So who are they?
malnutritioned.
The one down there, he's some kind of, he
I don't
holds some kind of office position.
Activist.
And no, he holds an office.
That's a great way of putting it. He holds some kind in New Hampshire. In New Hampshire, he works in an office.
So
He
are you gonna
believes-
play the part that I told that I think I sent you yesterday, or are you gonna play different parts? Because that one's really good.
Oh, I'm gonna play. No, sorry, I had some part. I didn't think you wanted me to play a specific part, but
I mean, I know where it is.
I'll
It's
bring the moment up.
9th minute and 45th second.
Oh, let's go to that first because
So
mine
play it
is.
for 2
I
minutes.
wanna. So just so Marianne has been accused of being abusive and all that, and Bad Faith and Vanguard are continuing their crusade of pushing Marianne. It's possible. It's possible. No, it's not. No, it's possible. It could be. No.
Too
So
funny.
that's what's happening here. But then this guy came, and this guy's defense was so bad that I feel like
Even Bree
it's so
had to
bad, but-
intervene. We'll see.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll talk about that. It was minute 9. Do you remember the
9:45,
second?
I think.
All right. The black guy, I have to say, the black guy was much better. He kept it quiet and brief and to the point, and your usual
Yeah.
talking points. We should do more of the same thing, blah
Mhm.
blah. But the guy down there, even full
Yeah, I
on
didn't
like,
listen
I'm
to
gonna.
this guy at all. I didn't hear anything.
All right. Well, didn't miss much.
Or maybe I
energy
did, but
to
I
get
don't
that
remember.
light, to get that purpose
Fast
going
forward a
that
bit until
we
it's the
can
other
have
guy.
a better democracy. We can have a
Oh,
stronger
it's 9:45.
Okay, leave it.
then. I
That's
thought
fine.
maybe.
Thanks. Yeah, that's good. Thanks.
And the crossover appeal to that for people that are, we also have an open primary here. So the crossover appeal for that for other groups changes
maybe a
the
little bit further, I
electorate
guess,
of
maybe
who
10,
is
15.
voting. It changes who can be a Democrat. It changes who wants to be a Democrat body. You
Well,
bring in.
Let me ask both of you about that then. Carlos, I'm going to come to you first. Are there efforts being made to attract independent and Republican voters? And do you see any appeal that the Marianne is having, any kind of demonstrated appeal among those groups?
I have to say, I also want to address your first question about your listeners, viewers, maybe not being so excited about the Democratic Party. I can agree. I'm not excited about the DNC. I don't think anybody could be under the circumstances that we're living today. I'm excited about my party here in New Hampshire because we tend to do things much different than the DNC, and it's the obvious reason why they don't want us to go first.
Sorry,
That
what
is
do you
very
want?
No, nothing. I was just laughing. Sorry, continue.
All right.
crystal clear. So I'm not asking anybody to be excited about the DNC. What I'm asking them is to take control of their local parties. That's where the power is.
I'm
That's
not asking you to be excited about anything. I'm asking you to take over your local or governments.
That's so true. It makes
I'm asking you to enact the local revolution, It's just people are
too
pretending
funny.
as if I'm asking some crazy. No, I'm just, your city organization.
Burn it
Town
down,
hall
okay?
and all that thing. Get a gang of few men, stronger the better, together and attack those buildings.
It's too funny.
Fucking idiot. But no, it just, I mean,
But play
I
another
would say
minute or so
everybody-
until Brie also
No.
responds. Like it's so funny.
Sure.
So good.
I will, but I just wanted to say, please, people, try to watch the last 10 minutes of this on your own, just for a good laugh.
Oh, really?
where we're going to make change. That's how we're doing it here in New Hampshire. I was able to win my election a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to be the first Latino on that rules committee ever in the state of New Hampshire. And
By the way, just people, remember this first Latino thing? Later on, he goes full on first gay, Latino, indigenous, sort of disabled, partially. It adds everything later on. For now, it's just Latino. Later on, he gets angry.
we're breaking barriers everywhere in New Hampshire. We just elected in a very red town a transgender man who's actually working for Marianne, who was an Elizabeth Warren supporter before.
Another person who's been
I was a
abused.
Bernie supporter before. We have somebody else from the Tulsi campaign. And this is an interesting point. We have people from all these camps that worked on all these different campaigns before joining Marianne. And Marianne has an ability to talk to Americans, not to talk specifically just to Black voters or to Hispanic voters or to Indigenous voters or to gay voters. She has an ability to speak to American voters. And that's something that she emphasizes a lot. And I think she's just different. She's able to attract those people. Also, Americans are tired of voting for the less of two evils. That is very crystal clear.
Look, guys, I appreciate all of this. And certainly, I guess I'm pushing back because I think that people don't want to, at least in this context, people listen to this episode, they are more familiar with Marianne than the average voter. They don't need to be convinced of what she stands for. Some people disagree with some of what she stands for. They disagree with some of her foreign policy takes. They agree with other parts of her or her domestic agenda or whatever it is. But the concerns are not, should I invest in this again? Why should I give my...
So your take here was that...
Brie really cares about her audience.
Yeah. No,
she's like, listen, you're boring everybody here. We know this. Can you change it up, please?
Yeah, that's what you said. But I mean, you said that before the show.
And she used the word pushback even. I didn't realize.
Yeah, I feel like she was trying to save him because she was like, this is not the place for this. No, we discussed this before the show. These are not the people to tell them this is stuff about the people. This is for YouTube, motherfucker. We discussed this speech beforehand. You are not supposed to this. But I mean, it gets better than this, though. I have a couple of bits I want to play with for you. So let's go. And by the way, Marianne is obviously better than Joe Biden. It's just we don't think she has a chance in hell, and we don't think she has any integrity whatsoever. So that's another. I don't know. Maybe Camille disagrees. He's
donation to this again.
Distracted, and he's using my what do you say, my likening for my own voice to conduct his own personal business during our podcast hours, and he's not letting go. And this is offensive to me personally as a brown man. I don't know if that helps, but Okay, let's go here.
And Democratic politics. We are attracting independent voters. There's even libertarian voters that like how
All
Marianne
5
speaks
of
about.
them. Oh, so, Camille is still in the middle of his business conduct. Did you hear that, Camille? I thought you would like that.
Sorry, I needed to get
That
some
was for
water.
you.
No, I know the libertarian part is
I thought you
hilarious.
enjoy that. Digat, the libertarian. Like, can you imagine when you're bragging about some people in libertarian community are listening to us? What does that mean? Like what? Like 3 people,
This guy's
some
too
people
funny.
within the libertarian? That way it gets really good.
There's even libertarian voters that like how Marianne speaks about government and just less government in general. And there are voters in New Hampshire. New Hampshire is very independent. There's a lot of veterans in the state of New Hampshire who actually don't disagree with Marianne's foreign policy, especially when it comes to Ukraine.
Sorry, it's a
On
bit
some from
later.
the 80s, you know.
Another example of we've gotten a little early taste of the.
So we've been doing a much better job at just making sure that people, Granite Staters here, understand her background and all the experience that she brings to the table.
Well, that's a great example,
wait, sorry, it
Carlos.
was a bit
I'm
before.
glad you brought that up.
He brings up something from her
understand.
past.
So we have been doing a much better job at presenting New Hampshire voters to Marianne to make sure that they understand Marianne's background and community work in churches, in with the HIV/AIDS crisis in the 80s. You know, these are important facts that the media has been trying to hide or twist or misrepresent. And so we've been doing a much better job at just making sure that people, Granite Staters here, understand her background and all the experience that she brings to the table.
Well, that's a great example, Carlos. I'm glad you brought that up.
If you've been in DC for your whole entire career, that's not experience. And that's actually not what we need. You know, Joe Biden, the only thing he has to bring to the table is the fact that he's been in Congress his whole entire life. Why do we want more of that?
I'm glad you brought up that particular example of we've gotten a little early taste of the strategy that is likely to be deployed against Marianne. The Women of the View last week, or maybe it was the week before, covered her campaign, and Sunny Hostin in particular accused Marianne of having dismissive of the AIDS crisis, arguing that she didn't, thought that people could self-heal or something like that, in a way that I think pretty egregiously misrepresented her record of offering spiritual support to people who were dying from that crisis and being ignored by the government, generally speaking, as that crisis was ongoing. Strategically, I mean, The View is a huge platform. And given the barrier that we've discussed already to Marianne accessing other kinds of large platforms like a debate stage, what kind of discussions have there been about how to push back against that, especially since so much of left media also is not, frankly, very supportive of Marianne. Much of it is, obviously, but some of it isn't. So strategically,
I think we've done a great job at making sure that.
By the way, the main takeaway from this interview is that this guy really knows who's gonna watch this podcast, because it's basically Marianne Williamson. The only person who's gonna, so he's like, we've done a great job in New Hampshire. I'm doing a fantastic job. My job should be safe. If anybody's fired, it should be people in other states, not New Hampshire. So that's what he's mostly doing. But this part is, he really does something I found, frankly, hugely offensive. Did you hear what he said here?
No.
Do you remember?
No, what did he say?
People that were directly affected during the AIDS that happened before my time, but what I can tell you is we're putting people in front of Marianne, and we're bringing these people on board, these people that were maybe silent last time when she ran, that are now coming up and speaking up. There's a beautiful video that we just put out of this person giving a testimony about his living through the AIDS crisis and choose for themselves. You can hear it from The View, which is an entertainment source, and you can take it for whatever you want, or you can take it directly from the person that is being affected or was affected during those times. And that's really, this is the type, we know, Bernie used to say this, the revolution is not going to be televised, and at least the CNN and MSNBC is not going to give us a fair shake. But that's fine. Voters in New Hampshire are not making political decisions based on CNN, MSNBC, or The View for that matter. They're making decisions based on their interaction with with the politicians that are coming here and the people that they're listening to. People like myself that have been working in these communities for 15 years, people like other people that work in our campaign that have been in the state for 20 plus year working in politics, that have been, I was in AmeriCorps for 3 years. My opinion has probably a lot more weight in the state than probably The View will have. And so we're going to do everything possible.
Okay, this
guy is so
sorry, I'm
entertaining.
fucking offended. This guy is unbelievable. He's now
so entertaining.
What is he's insulting
I
The
can
View?
see him on a reality show. Like he would like fit in, like his character would be all good. You know, the scenes where it's them talking to the camera, he'd be really good at that.
Oh yeah, he would
like,
be fantastic.
I'm the best looking guy in the house.
I did my best. Everybody else didn't do their share, and that's why they suck. And I'm great. And no, I just he's amazing. I mean, is he implying he has more authority than The View does? In the, I mean,
in
is
New
he implying The View
through the interaction?
In New Hampshire. Is he implying Whoopi Goldberg's fantastic analysis of racial policies of Nazis is not influential in New Hampshire? Is this what he's implying? I mean, he's very offensive. But yeah, man, he's. But then they go on to discuss the
back against
issues
those
of.
lies.
Sorry. Then they go on to discuss the issue of the abuse in Marianne's sort of, the treatment of her.
And we have no problem confronting like any other boss. She tells it was a low blow. We're going to bring receipts to the table, and we would love to debate Biden because we will make the case at the stage. And I think that's partly another reason why they don't want to debate Marianne. She's going to bring the receipts to the table, and we have no problem. And we have so many people, even that political article that came out, which I thought was a low blow. Just basically, we have tons of staff speaking up saying they loved working with Marianne. They still love working with Marianne. I've had a couple of people call me and say the same thing. They're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm perfectly fine." She is like any other boss. She tells me what I need to do, but I also tell her, "Hey, this is what we need on the ground. We have a great time on the campaign."
I'm fine. She's not beating me. She's not beating me.
Trail. The energy there. We're enjoying the campaign. And I have so many voters coming out. We had voters last time she was here during a snowstorm. There was a state warning that there was going to be this giant blizzard coming, and people still came out. We had people that didn't agree with Marianne show up. And still the level of civility and conversation that happened in that room is admirable, and it's what the American public is ready for.
Well,
so
let me ask you about let me ask you about
then,
that.
Bree says, like, can you, she asks him to like clarify about the whole abuse and stuff, and his answer is just bloody fantastic.
Since you brought it up, Williamson during her 22, I mean, what is her?
Yeah, one of the sources that spoke up happens to be somebody from New Hampshire, and I don't want to really get too much into details. This is somebody that I actually admire and have a lot of respect for. And I'm
somebody I actually admire and a lot of respect for, but he's also a liar. But he's also probably a liar. Just,
not here to question victims. I'm always about believing victims, whatever they say. But that's just those comments alone. Would we say that?
I believe. By the way, this is not my standard. This is his standard. He believes victims, whatever they say. If they say, for example, if the victim says Earth is flat, he believes them. He believes them. He believes them. All right. But in case of Marianne Williamson, no, I don't believe. I don't believe. It's just. Why do you say I always believe victims and then immediately next sentence go contradict yourself?
About somebody like Joe Biden, would we say that about Barack Obama? We would never say that about a male figure. So, those words that they use, as a man, I'm actually offended for women in this country that this is how we speak of.
I mean, so Carlos, I definitely think that we have
postponed the questions because they're just clarifications.
Yeah.
Seen on. So I mean,
I can only speak to my experience. I am not here to discredit any of the victims. I don't believe in doing that. I think that's
about the
when
truth.
They go low, we go high. I can only speak to my experience. I would never work for somebody that doesn't treat me well. And two, I would never leave my children with somebody I don't trust. And I have to tell you this quick story.
I have to tell you this story.
came here. It was around my daughter's birthday. My mom was not feeling good. I had to bring my daughter with us on the trail. And I said, is it okay? And she said, oh, absolutely. I love kids. And I actually left Marianne and my daughter for quite some time together while I was organizing the event. And they had such a good time, beautiful moments. I saw what I want my president to look like. They were reading books on the floor together. I have the pictures, and I just couldn't believe that this is how people are speaking about Marianne. You know, and I've talked to a lot of people on the campaign trail that have had personal experiences with Marianne for a very long time, including somebody who was a roommate for many years. And she had nothing but amazing stories to tell on a personal
This guy's stories, man, are CNN level.
So again, I think here in the state of New Hampshire,
you know, Biden goes
challenged
biking.
me to be a better person.
His
As a game,
college roommate loved drinking beers with him. You know, these are like the things that he's bringing up.
I'm not a perfect person. I'm 33 years.
Oh yeah. No. It's just I wanted.
We went to a restaurant. She picked up the bill.
Learning, and she has always challenged me to be a better person. As a gay man, as an indigenous Hispanic here in the state of New Hampshire.
As a gay man, as an indigenous Hispanic in the state of Hampshire. What's an indigenous Hispanic in the state of like Virginia is different than the one. Oh God, motherfuckers. Man, this guy, as you said, he would be perfect for like a CNN or reality TV show is better. He would start as just, this is the Latino guy. By the end of the show, he will be a Latino, disabled, trans, one-eyed, like prophet. I don't know, like something. This motherfucker. Oh my God, it's so
Can you just check out the comments as well? See if any good ones.
Oh, sure. I think mostly they were making fun of him, so it's fine. In his what is it? In his opening, Carlos said, "We have country or to pick a word. This is false. That's a good word. Oh, all right, American. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's just I don't think people really spend too much time looking deeply into like, oh, Marianne's foreign policy. These people don't have a foreign policy. They're barely hanging on. It's like, you know, if I'm saying Biden, very good friend of mine. But yeah.
The better question is, does she even get 1%?
That's good. Yeah. Her capitulation to the proverb isn't doing her any favors either. That's a good way of putting it, I suppose. That's simply. Yeah, man, it's, as you can see, everything I see is negative, yeah?
Short answer, no.
Oh, here, look, even Zachary here has pointed out, we're going to bring the receipt 5 minutes later. I'm not here to question sure. Just the guy was a contradiction in terms. Liam
he covered a lot of ground, though, in like the 15 minutes. He didn't let the other guy talk anymore. He talked, you know, everything about his own personal experience. Let me tell you another story.
No, it's just he didn't really answer any of.
No.
I mean,
hey, look,
it was the answer. Yeah, I saw that. I didn't want to, but yeah.
But look, by the way, there's also another. Scroll up a bit.
That's the only positive one. TCT is the only positive comment we found.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But there's another one of our subscribers, I guess, go down, who also commented. I recognize.
Really? Dylan L? Is that her?
No, just keep on going a bit. I'll let you know in case I see it.
Okay, that's
go a bit more. Let me see in case, but yeah, no, otherwise, just do 1 or 2 more.
Probably it was higher, I guess.
Never mind.
Maybe you were mistaken.
No.
All right, calm down. But man, I have to say though, overall, if the Politico is right, and by the looks of this guy, he clearly has not eaten any like substantive amount of food for the last couple of years that he's been working with Marianne. And this is only
his
making
shirt, you
Marianne...
see, is a bit big for him. That he got that when he first joined the campaign. He's a different man.
Marianne gave him that shirt. That's
That's
And those
before the
glasses,
liquid fast started. Juice only.
We're gonna from now on, we're
And
gonna
boiled
only
eggs.
survive on the energy of these crystals, honey. Only gonna it's gonna but I have to say, all of this, if the abusive story is true, this is making Marianne in more than one ways more attractive. I'm just saying, you know. I'm really becoming interested in taking a course in her miracles. I'm interested if she's. What do you think? Do you
Too
think
funny.
usually the people who are, you know, bitchy in the office, they tend to be fucking great in other areas of the house. Let's
Perhaps.
say. I'm just saying. But anyway, this is still. I mean, I would say not. I mean, none of this matters. If anything he said out of all of the bullshit he said was true, was that none of the voters or non-voters give a shit about CNN, MSNBC, or certainly YouTube or anything like that. But yeah, I don't know, man. If there are more stories about her being abusive, I think, yeah, she has a good chance of running.
Yeah.
She has a good chance of, you know, becoming a headache for Trump. But then again,
But I mean, it's not
I
even though.
also,
But yeah.
yeah,
Anyway.
go ahead, sir.
No, I mean, she should, if
It's not what-
anything, but she should be, yeah. She should be planning long term, because this election is even hard even to make a noise, because I guess because there's already Biden. But the next one at least is a fresh primary, so at least you can like have some fun, perhaps, win one or two primaries or something. But this one is,
Yeah, I agree with you. This one is a foregone.
Yeah, it's tougher at least
Maybe
even to do
I mean,
something
to
like
be
that.
honest, I'm hoping like a slave that she turns it around, and I'll be at her service if she needs it, if she needs to abuse somebody, perhaps. Anyway, but looking at him though, doesn't he remind you of anything or anyone?
No, tell me.
Doesn't he look like a minion?
Like
No,
what? A
he doesn't
minion?
look like a minion. Yeah. No. Just the hair, the long face.
Hey, poor guy.
Saying,
Well,
it
minions are
reminded me
cute
of
though.
it.
They're
Yeah, they are
hilarious.
very cute. I mean, I don't know what's. Yeah, I'm being very flattering to this guy, frankly. But yeah, and let's end it on a fun note. I thought you really enjoyed this because this is a
What
double
happened? Tell me.
whammy for you. Here you go. So Elon Musk beefs with.
Oh yeah, I
I
heard
don't
about
know if
this.
you heard. Yeah, and I don't know if
Kinda.
you heard. He there was a leak that he said his company is worth half the value that it actually does. And there was also this that he's from, what is it? Let me find the tweet thingy here. He tweeted that starting April 15th, only verified accounts will be eligible to be in for you recommendations. This is, I'm guessing, this is the only realistic way to address advanced AI bot swarms taking over. It is otherwise a hopeless losing battle.
Wow.
Voting in polls will require verification for same reason. Kamiar, how many times did I tell you? Did you leave our AI bot out again?
Where
It's
can I get one of
other
these?
AI bots. It's become a swarm now. It's attacking Elon. Jesus Christ. What a loser, man. I mean, just my company is losing money. So Elon Musk is losing money, and he's coming up with excuses to explain him losing money as fighting AI bot swarms. You have billions of dollars. Why do you need people to not know that you're doing things for money?
But it must be
At
fun.
least
Is he
that's why I respect Bill Gates, man. When he lies, he clearly can't be, as you pointed out, he can't be bothered. He's like, yeah, take the vaccine. It's good for you. It's definitely good. I know I'm lying to you. Take it, man. Why do you have this need? Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. Nothing. I just wonder, like, people at Tesla are either really happy because he's like no longer there. So they don't have like a weirdo, like going around, God knows saying
Oh,
what
yeah.
or saying what. Or they're like, what the fuck happened? Why did this guy just stop working and leave and go do something else?
No, I think it's
No.
it's the first scenario.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh man, I have to say I hadn't seen Breaking Point for a while, and they didn't what's it called? They didn't disappoint, shall we say, in a sense that, man, their favorite toy is broken, and they heal. It's just their favorite toy is broken, and they talk about it as if it's like, it reminds me when like 12-year-olds talk about like Destiny PlayStation or something, and it's like, oh, did you hear about this new thing? It's not working on mine, but if you upgrade to the thing, it's like, who gives a shit? And they're like, the new journalist. We don't know what the new journalist will do. Who gives a
Funny.
shit about you? Oh God.
Too funny. But
Anyway.
okay. All right.
Yeah,
Good
I
stuff.
included this is story for you, and you have no comments.
I did what? I just commented, did I not?
It's like, barely make a joke at Elon Musk's expense or something.
True. I don't know what to say. Now you put
No?
me on the spot. I don't know. I've
Anyway,
used up all
I
my
know
jokes.
I'm not supposed to do this, but man, I've been eating this. I'm not
Oh,
supposed to
yeah.
promote Iranian
But these I don't
chawale
have too
badum.
much experience eating them, so I almost forgot what they taste like.
Well, we put salt on them, so
Mhm.
salty, and
Mhm.
but I mean,
Or even the
kind
texture.
of like soury, I suppose.
Yeah,
If
no, because now
your
there's a lot
picture
of
is like,
videos going around on Instagram where they put this in the middle of a lava shack and then they put some limu on, which I'd never seen before, and then they eat it. Kind of like
oh,
trying to
that's
do,
new.
yeah,
I never liked lava shack, which is, for
mm,
people who don't know, it's just, I don't know what's the
sour
English thing? Soury. It's like sour fruit, whatever paste.
candy, yeah.
But man, yeah, I went. My family went to Rash recently. They came back and they brought me. They have these. I think I showed you these candies sort of things. They're like the. I don't know how to explain them. They're kind of like, it's kind of like, I guess, fried sugar type thing, but then they roll it, and in the middle is pistachios,
Mm,
and it's
interesting.
amazing. It's really good. Like, you remember Zulbi Abamiye?
That name is so familiar, but yeah, I know what you're talking about in general. Yeah, bring it up.
Well, that's the, by the way, Ramadan, like, traditional
Yeah, that's
sort
what
of
I would break
sweets
my
that
fast
people.
with after
So
dates.
the thing I'm talking about is like you
Oh
see this
yeah,
one
oh
that
yeah,
looks
oh
like
yeah,
not the balls, not the
yeah,
balls, the
yeah.
yeah, it's made like that. They have a massive sort of frying thing in front
Mm.
of them. They make it just like this, but then they roll it, and there's pistachios inside,
Wow,
and it's unbelievably good. Yeah,
that
it's
sounds
really nice.
fantastic.
Yeah, that's the Ramadan has okay candies, I have to say. But the thing is, Ramadan and New Year at the same time is like such a.
Yeah, that must be.
But just for good listeners who stay until the end, I am planning to do a segment on Ali, because in Ramadan that's his anniversary of his death, and he's fascinating, man. He's an interesting political character. So
You have my full support. I look forward to listening to it.
you don't know Ali, do you? You don't know anything about Ali, do you? I'm not talking about your dad or your cousin or my dad or my cousin who are all called Ali.
Too funny. But yeah, but okay. All right. Great stuff, Sam. Time to wrap this up. If anybody has any questions, comments, please leave them below. If not, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video. Thank you.